box 10, and we got a couple extra bundles to go as well. Welcome back, everybody. This is Great White Norther, and we're back at it again with another box of quarters. So we got a box and two bundles essentially of quarters to hunt through today as part of this book filler series that we're doing. So the goal of all this, for those of you who've been following along, and I know lots of you have, we are trying to find all of the commemorative quarters that have come out since 1967. So 1967 Silver Lynx, we are still missing that one, and we are also missing a 1992 Yukon. There are 92 coins that are commemorative quarters in Canada. Some colored ones here. We've got them all. We've managed to upgrade quite a few. And we are also missing this one from the other page, the Women's Olympic Hockey colored, but we've got all the rest. Proving to be a little elusive to find these last few coins. We are finding some neat stuff. We've found some cool stuff in the last few boxes, but we really have not increased our count as far as the number of actual quarters that we found for the hunt or to fill this book. So hopefully have a little bit more luck this week. Did have some challenges again, same thing as last time, in that I could not find quarters in a box, or a whole box of quarters. So the first branch I went to, I only got 4, and then the next branch I got these 16, so it ended up working out to the 2 bundles. And then the last branch I went to, I did get a whole box, but they did have to do some searching around. They actually made this box up for me out of some of their float and just some of the random bundles they had. TD's been really good, great bank to work with. Every branch that I go into, I never really have any issues with them. They're always happy to help out, and certainly they had no real problem with trying to run around and find what I was looking for to make a box up for me. So, and I don't even bank with them, so that's awesome. So also, we're doing this as a battle with Emanuel's workbench, so go over to his channel, check out what he's doing there. If you haven't seen, he is ahead of me by 2 coins. He only has the 1967 silver bobcat that he's looking for, so we are behind by a little bit. Got some catching up to do, so hopefully we catch up. Check out his channel, see how he's doing on his hunt. He is done box 10. So if I finish these 2, then I'll be on 10, or maybe he might be at 11, but we'll be up to box 11 after this, or very close to it. We'll be short 1 bundle, actually, technically. So we'll work our way through these. We'll do these 4 last, and then we'll move on to the box. So, all right, I'll bring you in if I find something. All right, so we're on roll 7 here, and we have something. So I haven't looked at it, but there's a lot of, I did kind of scan these first few, and they're all a little bit older effigies on the back. Sorry, I used the wrong hand here. But I noticed a bunch of them, so we'll have to take a look. I don't know what this is. 85. Oh, there's another here. 76. Another one. 68. So that could be silver. I don't think it is. It doesn't look silver, no. But this one here does look like it's silver. So I haven't looked at what it is. Let's take a quick peek here. Oh, there's another one here. 1978. So there is a large and small bead variant on that. It's pretty beat up. I probably won't even bother looking for it on that one just because of the condition. But anyway, let's take a look here. Kind of looks silvery. And it's got the right effigy on it. This could be our 67. Let's see. Oh, but it is a 68. And I think that's silver. Like, look at that next to the other 68 there. So it's pretty dirty, but I think that might be silver. Let's just take a look here. Oops. Oh, yeah. So picked up that one, but not that one. So, yeah. Well, we got our first silver. Roll 7. 1968, that's 50% silver, 1 off from what we wanted. That would have been cool. Would have been nice to have found that in here. Looks like we got a bunch of older coins. There's another 76. So I'll go through this and I'll bring in if I find anything else interesting. But we're on the board. Ain't for the book, but I'll take the silver. Okay, so we're on to the next roll here. I did finish off that other roll. There was some older coins, some more 68s in it, but they were all the nickel ones. Anyway, started dumping this out, and as you can see, oh, now it comes out perfectly. All right, well, I was having some difficulty getting this roll to empty, and it's because there's this thing in it. I looked in the end there to see what was making it stick, and we have a Chuck E. Cheese token. Probably completely valueless. Although, I heard they closed up shop recently, so I don't know if that was company-wide or just the ones locally, but anyway, Chuck E. Cheese token, first one of those. Well, I don't know if that's a good sign, but that's just the first roll, or 21st roll that we've gone through here, and we did find a green bison from the Legendary Nature series. It is in reasonable shape, certainly something I'll hang on to for now, and it might even improve the one in the book, so not a hole that we need filled, but could be an improvement on what we have. Roll 2, and definitely a better start than what we had in those first 20. So we've got a couple more finds here. We've got a War of 1812 Salaberry, and it's got some wear on the high points, but it's a pretty nice looking coin otherwise. So I will hang on to that, see if that improves the one in the book. And I've got a really nice New Brunswick, that ultra rare New Brunswick coin that's not so ultra rare as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, we will set that up here, and that is part of the Province series, so always looking to hang on to those. Roll 23, very next roll, and we've got another find here. This one looks to be a foreign coin. So you can see right there, it's a little thicker than the rest of them, and I saw it fall down. I think it's East Caribbean. I'm not sure. 1969, 25 cents. Bahamas. Sorry, I thought it was the East Caribbean states. Actually, that's kind of a nice shape, actually. So for 1969 as well. So yeah, hang on to that. We got a commemorative quarter, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police 100-year commemorative quarter. That got a error coin that you can look for in this, where they, it's actually, I guess, a mule, where they printed the obverse from the 1972 quarter onto the 1973 commemorative quarter. So the best thing I find is just to keep a 1972 handy, which I do, and you can just check to see whether there is a difference between the two. So what you're looking for is the large bust version of this one. So that's the large bust. You can see the size difference there, and it's this obverse printed on this coin is what you're looking for. The other thing you can look for, which you don't, if once you get kind of used to it, you kind of pick them up anyway, without having that coin handy. You can see how close those denticles are to the rim on this one, and they're not so close on this one. So you can just look for that if you don't happen to have a coin handy. If they're not right up next to the rim, like they are on this one here, then obviously it's a small bust one. So, because without this, it's kind of hard to tell whether you got a large bust or a small bust otherwise. So, roll 5, and I don't want to make the video too long, but I had it on the scope anyway, so I thought I would talk about it. So, one of the other coins that you need to look for is the 1978 Canadian quarter. There is a variant on this which has what is called the small denticle version. So I'm just going to bring it up onto the scope here and kind of give you a little hint on how to find this one. This one's in pretty rough shape. The way I check whether this is a large denticle or a small denticle version is I count the number of denticles between the straight line of the D and the peak of the A. And if you count 10, then you have a large denticle, which is the less rare version. And if you count 12, which this one actually has 12 if you count them, that is the small denticle version, and that is the one that has a little bit more value. It's not a super rare coin, but it does have a bit more value. It's about $1.50 for a reasonable shaped coin, if you can find one. So this one probably I wouldn't count as being necessarily reasonably shaped. It's pretty circulated, and anyway, I'll hang on to it for now. Roll 35, and I tell you, it's not one for the book, or it doesn't fill a hole, but it is one I have been looking for. So we got from the Province series in 1992, the British Columbia coin, and the one that's in there has been bugging me since I put it in there. It's in really rough shape. This one is pretty decent, actually, so quite happy I found that. A bit of circulation on the obverse there, but definitely a lot better than the one that's in the book, so happy to get that. We'll replace the one that's in the book there, and then this one's in really decent shape. I think the one in there is probably as good, but we'll set that one aside and we'll check it against the book too. Well, this is not very promising, guys. We're down to the last 11 rolls there, and I did find some stuff here again, stuff that I will probably keep, and we'll double check against the book, but got a couple more of the Province series, Saskatchewan, and a PEI. So we need one, which is the Yukon, and we're getting everything but. So we got 5 of them so far. 4 more to go, and we're almost to the wire here. But as I was sliding this one out, I could see there's something hiding here. It, again, is not what we're looking for, but it is definitely a coin that I like to collect. You can just see by the edge of it. Let's see what else we got here before we get to that one. And yeah, it is the Canadian flag from 2015. Pretty good shape, and definitely one of my favorite collectible colored coins. So yeah, that's all right. Well, that's it, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get another box. I won't wrap this video up. We will hang on to these coins. I'll set them aside, and we'll reset, and I'll get another box and see if we can't find something for the book. All right, we're back, and it's been a few days. I did manage to get some more quarters, so I got another box, and I actually got an extra bundle. I had to go to a couple different branches again, and so I just got the bundle from the first branch. So it works out perfectly because that will make up another box along with the 4 other bundles that we've got over the last couple videos. So we now have 12 boxes once we're done all this. So let's see what we get. I've reset everything out here, everything that we found in the first box, or box 10 and the other couple rolls. So let's dig through this and see what we get. So next few rolls here, we've got a bunch here that are marked. So I dumped this out, and it looks like these are all USA state quarters. You can see this one is marked as well. There's obviously some rolls missing because we got number 1, 3, 4, and 5. So we're missing at least 2. And so obviously this was a partial roll that I had kind of cobbled together at a branch, so they must have given it out. But anyway, lots of the US state quarters. I will go through them all separately to see if there's anything that is as an error. I'll check them all for errors, but I won't do that right now just because it'll make the video very, very long. And I'll just bring you in at the end if I find anything. Box is a little jumbled up, but I think we're on roll 8 or 18 if you count that first bundle. And we got another find here, not for the book again, but it's a good one. We like to find these. This is the 2017 Hope for a Green Future commemorative coin. And that is, we're not sure, but we're thinking probably in the 2 to 3 million range as far as minting goes, if it's anything like any of the earlier ones. So reasonably good shape, and it's definitely one of the ones we're always looking for when we're hunting. So set that one aside. Roll 29, and we do have another find here. We got a 2010 double poppy, pretty decent shape, so definitely going to keep that one. Yeah, nice condition there. So does not fill a hole, but it might improve the one in the book, and I'd keep it anyway. So on to the next. Roll 33, and guys, I have to tell you, I have never been so excited about finding a provincial quarter. Here it is, after almost 12 boxes now. The elusive Yukon provincial quarter from 1992. Now, for those of you who have been watching, you know why I'm so excited, because we are on however many videos along now, the 8th, 9th, 10th video, and this is the 12th box. This is not a particularly difficult quarter to find. As you can see, actually, if you look up here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 12 quarters that I found just in this hunt. But yeah, I was missing this one. This one fills a hole. It's in reasonable shape as well, which is good. So we're down 1 more, and we just have 2 to go. All right, let's see if we can find it in the rest of this box. Very next roll, and we have another find here. So this is the men's hockey. I was excited for a second. I thought it might have been the women's hockey, but it is a men's hockey, but it's in great shape. It is the Recess 2, so it's the normal men's hockey colored coin. There is a variety on this where the 2 in the sitting in the hockey player's leg here would be called a raised 2 because it's actually been printed with the die from the uncolored version, which actually that 2 sits on top of the leg instead of embedded into the leg, as you can see it here. So anyway, there's about 2.8 million of these that were minted, so it's a nice find for sure. It's in great shape. Happy to have found that. And actually, while I was moving on to this next roll here, I did take a quick look, and actually the Yukon is the most rare of these quarters by just a very small margin. There's just over 10 million of these minted, and the average for most of these is somewhere in the 11 to 14 million. So not a huge difference, but it is technically the most rare of the 12 quarters from. All right, so the box is done. We are through everything, and we have at least the one to fill the book here. We have the Yukon right here, and that is going to fill that hole right there. So we're down to just two that we need, that 1967 silver and this somewhat elusive women's hockey colored version. So only the two more to go. I am going to go through the rest of these, and they're all in decent shape, so I'm just going to make sure that they don't replace anything in the book, set aside anything that I want to keep, and I will bring you back for the final recap. I did go through the US quarters. The only thing I found was this Connecticut. I don't know if it's really an error per se. Oops, just knocked my book off. But it is some doubling. It looks like machine doubling. You can see all through Connecticut there. There's quite a bit of doubling through there, but it's all over the coin. So you can see it there. You can see it down here on Charter as well. There's some doubling in there. You see it on the E and the R, the H. And then not much on the date. But then on the obverse, I noticed as well, there's also doubling showing through. You can see a little bit on the O there. A little bit on the T. So it's I think it's machine double. I think it's probably a stutter in the die, or when it was being made that kind of jumped, and we got that. But it's a little bit doubling, and I thought, I'll hang on to it. I found it, set it aside anyway. If anybody has any other ideas I should be looking for, I did go through the Kansas. There were no Kansas, but the Delaware spitting horse, I looked for those. There was a bunch of them, but there was none with the spitting horse. And I also had a bunch of the Minnesota ones, which I looked for the extra tree on. So that was it. So anyway, and I will go through, check all these, and I will bring you back in at the recap. So those are the ones that I'm going to keep out of that pile. They're all, of course, the colored commemoratives. We got a couple really decent ones in there in terms of the 2017, which is a lower mintage one, and that Canadian flag, which is just a really nice one, and they're hard to find, so happy to get those. Keeping the 1992 province quarters, I usually do keep them if they're in decent shape. Of course, we got a couple of the legendary nature, about 6 million each of those, and same thing with these double poppy ones. They're all in decent shape, so keep those. Of course, we got the silver quarter right in the beginning there, 1968, 50% silver. Hang on to that one for sure. We also hang on to this doubled Connecticut. Who knows, maybe it's worth something down the road. It might be some value to that, although I think it's just machine doubling. We do have a couple foreign coins here as well. It's been so long now, I forget what we got. I think this was Bahamas. So we got a Bahamas in really nice shape in 1969, and then this one's all beat up. It's the Chuck E. Cheese token. I forgot about that, actually. So who knows what that's worth? Probably nothing. But anyway, we did find a dime. I didn't bring you in for that one, but there was a dime in one of the rolls, although the roll was actually 35 cents over. So that's all right. These two 1978s I'm not going to keep. These are the small bead variety, but they're in really rough shape. They're just not worth it. I got some nicer ones already, so I'm not going to worry about those. And then these are the quarters that I replaced. So there are 10 of them. These are going to be thrown back in. They're in pretty rough shape. Pulled those out of the book. We replaced that British Columbia, of course, and then a couple more here, as you can see, that all got replaced in the book. I did replace the Ontario one as well. These ones are ones I'm keeping. So the Ontario and the Alberta, good enough for me to keep, but a better one we found today that's now in the book, Newfoundland, and of course the men's colored hockey. The one in the book is actually nicer, so we replaced that one. And that's it. So we just got two left. We have that 1967 silver and the women's colored hockey. So I think that I am going to call this as of the next hunt. So I will get one or two more boxes. We'll see how it goes. If we don't find all the quarters by that point, then I'm just going to call it, and I'll probably just concede to Emanuel. We'll work something out as far as that goes. I don't want to be doing kind of the same thing over and over and over again. It is nice and fun to hunt these, but sometimes the boxes just aren't worth putting on video. We have got lucky and got some nice stuff, but for the most part, I think the series is done. We've got a pretty good idea of what it takes to get all of the quarters. Probably within the first 3 to 4 boxes that you do, you'll get most of them. And by the time you get to this point, of course, I think probably by 8 or 9 boxes, you should have pretty much all of them. And really, you could have easily gotten all of them. The 1967 silver, you know, we could find it in the next box, or it could take another 20 boxes to find. So really hard to say if that'll come up anytime soon. That women's hockey colored should come up. We should get one, but we've just been kind of unlucky with that one. So anyway, I think we got a pretty good idea that this is what it takes to get a full collection. I'll fill this collection up eventually, and I'll maybe bring you back in as an update, but we'll do one more video, and we'll call it at that. So all right, thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for coming along. Do go check out Emanuel's channel as well. Really enjoy having you guys come along for the ride with me. We've actually got some nice quarters in there. Always nice to get those colored quarters. They look really sharp when you got a bunch of them sitting there. So all right, thanks very much. You guys all have a great day and take care.